We're going to jump to this next story. I have to do this one right away because I owe NeYo an apology. NeYo defends his opinion, clarifies apology after declaring opposition to children undergoing medical gender transition. I need y'all to hear this from the horse's mouth, not the publicist's computer. So let's break the story down. We got this from Rolling Stone. NeYo apologizes for criticizing parents who support children deciding their gender identity, saying gender identity is nuanced, and I can honestly admit that I plan to better educate myself on the topic so I can approach future conversations with more empathy. Basically, he goes on this podcast and he's like, kids can't decide this stuff. I feel like parents don't know what it means to be parents anymore. If a kid comes and says he wants to eat candy all day and you let him, he'll do it. He says, if your 5-year-old son comes and says, I feel like a girl, you're going to rock with that? He's like, these kids can't make these permanent life decisions. What ends up happening is he puts out this post on Twitter saying, I'd like to express my deepest apologies. After much reflection, I'd like to express my deepest apologies to anyone that I may have hurt with my comments on parenting and gender identity. I've always been an advocate in love, blah, blah, blah. I understand how my comments could have been interpreted. Gender identity is nuanced, and I can honestly admit that I plan to better educate myself on the topic so I can approach, blah, blah, blah. I lead with love and support. Well, he put out a video. I'm going to play this video for you. You can hear it straight from him. You guys ready?
Yep. What's going on, loved ones? This is NeYo. All right, listen. I normally don't give too much of a damn about what y'all think about what I do, what y'all have to say about what I say, whatever. I normally don't care because, like I said, opinions ain't special. Everybody got one. However, this is something I feel very strongly on, and I need y'all to hear this from the horse's mouth, not the publicist's computer. So check this out. First and foremost, I do not apologize for having an opinion on this matter. I am a 43-year-old heterosexual man raising 5 boys and 2 girls, okay? That's my reality. Now, if my opinion offended somebody, yeah, sure, I apologize for you being offended because that wasn't my intention. My intention is never to offend anybody. However, I'm entitled to feel how I feel. I'm absolutely entitled to feel how I feel the same way you are entitled to feel how you feel. I ain't asked nobody to follow me. I ain't asked nobody to agree with me. I was asked a question and I answered the damn question. Okay. I have no beef with the LGBTQIA plus community whatsoever. I ain't got no beef with y'all. Do whatever the hell it is you want to do. Do what you want to do with your kids. However, somebody asked my opinion on this matter, and this is how I feel. I will never be okay with allowing a child to make a decision that detrimental to their life. I will never be okay with that. I don't care. I definitely plan to educate myself a little bit more on this matter. However, I doubt that there's any book anywhere or any opinion that somebody's going to tell me that's going to make me okay with letting a child make a decision like that. That's just period, point blank, and that's how I feel. If I get canceled for this, then you know what? Maybe this is a world where they don't need a NeYo no more.
Wow.
Right? And I got no problem with that. I'm a hustler. All right? I'll figure it out. I got kids to raise, and I'm going to do that regardless. So with that being said, y'all have a good day. I love everybody. Live how you want to live, love how you want to love, but your opinion is yours. Speak your opinion as much as you damn well feel like it. Because as I said, they're not important. They're not special. Everybody got one, and you're entitled to it. I'm entitled to mine. All right? Y'all feel how y'all want to feel. Have a great day. It's NeYo. Peace and love.
So that was not only did he come out and say no to that apology, he did it in a very, very, very strong way. Yep. So I want to defend myself a little bit. Like, I had no idea he was going to do this.
Of course.
Most of these celebrities come out and go, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm a whiny baby. This dude just came out manly 10 out of 10. Like I was saying, you're not a man, you're not a father. No. This dude is a real man, is a real father. This is what fathers should be doing. This is what men should be doing. He did it right. He was respectful. He said, I'm not trying to offend you. And I'm like, that's exactly right. None of us are trying to offend people. We're trying to express ourselves. Mm-hmm. But I want to point out, you notice he said, I would never be okay with a kid doing something that detrimental to themselves.
Yeah.
He's outright saying it is harm. It's not just a, how could you know, like, how could you feel the way? No, he's outright saying it's bad.
It's modern lobotomies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, literally.
Well, I think he's just telling the truth. But what's so remarkable about it is that in the music industry in particular, you just can't get away with this. Like I tweeted out a couple hours ago, like, if you appreciate this honesty, and if you want to support this man and you want to see more truth in the world, it's really important we rally around this dude, because I think they're going to come for him hard.
Yeah, I want to know what happened with his publicist there, because obviously the statement went out and he's like, it's not, you're going to hear from me and not the publicist's computer, which, by the way, we have to note how many times he was like, it's me, NeYo, and this is my message. By the way, it's me, NeYo, like signed off with his name. He's not afraid that this is his opinion. I think it's interesting that there was a statement released at all, and he's obviously not okay with it. I assume his publicist is getting fired, probably rightly so. But then what was the conversation behind the scenes? Were they like, you have to put out a statement? He's like, oh yeah, let me think about what I want to say, and then I'll comment on it. And they were like, Anyway, so we're posting this, which didn't even really, it sounds like every gender identity educated university bachelor's degree person I've ever heard who's like, oh yes, I will educate myself and this is new and da 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 da. Like, it's generic. This is obviously much stronger and much fresher. I also think it's much more relatable to parents who are like, I'm not going to change I have a million children to raise and I'm not going to waver in this.
Did he say he's got 7 kids?
He said he had 5 kids and a bunch of girls.
5 boys, 2 girls.
And I want to clarify too, because I don't know what we said, but he's a singer.
Right.
People have been calling him a rapper.
No, he's just
he's a singer.
Yeah.
R&B.
Yeah,
I
R&B.
see people saying he deleted the video. I don't know if anyone can check.
Oh,
the rest
no.
of it.
No.
Yeah.
Where was it posted?
See, I'm telling you, his publicist has access to his Twitter, and that's the problem.
Yeah, okay.
Was it posted to his Twitter?
I don't know.
Look,
It looks like an Instagram thing to me, but I'm
Right.
not so up on the
let
technology.
me just say, wherever this shakes out, whatever post actually ultimately ends up being the one of record for NeYo in this time frame, it is obvious this is who this guy is.
Hopefully it's the one where he's beating up his publicist like for changing his stuff.
For
he
real,
films
man.
that. No, I want that
Neo,
up.
change your password. This is
Yeah.
the moment.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
like
true.
break free. Break
Yeah.
free.
It does seem crazy that I don't know if that's actually deleted, so I don't want to like propagate false information, but
Right.
I'm sure the internal publicist who charges him thousands and thousands of dollars to do their services is now freaking out because they're like, no, we already put out a party line and you're supposed to stick to our opinion.
The video's on his Instagram.
Okay.
I just checked.
All right, great.
Yeah, I don't think the video's gone.
Stand
right here,
strong,
look at
NeYo.
this.
And it stays there.
About what I say, whatever.
Yeah, I don't think it's gone.
Not only that, but like he's coming after the media too, because they got this one story where it says NeYo condemns parents allowing children to transition, and he responded, first and foremost, I condemn no one. Who am I to condemn anybody? Your life, your kids, your choice. I was asked a question, I answered it. My opinion is mine. I'm not asking anybody to agree with me, nor am I telling you what you can and cannot do with your children. I stated my opinion on the matter, and that's that. Why should I care? Why should I care if my opinion upsets you when you don't care if yours upsets anyone? Opinions aren't special. We all have one. People voice them regularly, whether they're asked or not. Dude, that was based. Why should I care if my opinion upsets you when you don't care if your opinion upsets anyone else?
Yeah,
That's
such a
great.
good line.
But that's been just that's
This
been
arm
true.
good singer is a good lyricist over here.
That's been true for years. Yeah, he is a lyricist. So there you go. I'm proud of him. I'll just say it.
Yeah.
I'm proud of him.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy some NeYo merch after this. Just to give him some shouts out.
We
man.
got to get a NeYo jersey or whatever to hang on the wall like
yeah.
Luke did with Kyrie Irving.
Heck yeah.
No, but I think there's something to be said about that. I mean, why should he have to guard his opinion based on what random people on the internet think of him?
Well,
I
what's
mean,
even
don't listen to his music if you don't like him. Don't freak out.
Well, what's even crazier about it is like his opinion is, by all accounts, unless you're a lunatic, reasonable. He's saying that children aren't prepared to make these decisions. That's it. And then he's going out of his way to say, and I'm also not condemning them. Let me take it another step, NeYo. I am condemning them. If you're a parent and you're actually allowing your kid to make these decisions before they're of age, you're a bad parent.
Imagine a parent
Absolutely.
being like, my 5-year-old identifies as a cowboy, so I'm going to buy him a gun. And be like,
Yeah.
Nah, he could get hurt.
Or
from
he
that.
thinks he's a bird. We're going skydiving. This is all like, what are we talking
Well,
about?
to be fair, with a proper instructor, skydiving is nowhere near as bad as like giving a child a gun.
No,
Or
he thinks he's a
sterilizing
race
them.
car driver, so give him the keys to the car, right?
Right.
Just go. Let him do it.
There are tons of terrible decisions parents could make. I just think this one is obviously one people are questioning, and especially since this is not a minority opinion. NeYo is actually among a lot of people who say this is not something we should just
and
encourage
They
point
shouldn't be
blank
giving
kids to do.
they shouldn't be giving teenagers plastic surgery of any kind.
No, I mean, yeah.
I was talking about this the other day with some friends. How in I think in like Arizona, it's really big for teenage girls to get tons of plastic surgery, and I'm like, that's just it's not as bad. It's not sterilizing them, but it's still really, really bad. And it's in a similar category where we should not be telling kids. These kids are like, my nose is bad, so I'm gonna get surgery. No, dude. You know what's crazy to me is that we live in this world where people refuse to be themselves.
Just wait till you stop growing.
Bella Hadid came
Right?
out very famously and was like, I got a nose job when I was like 14, 15, something like that. And I regret it. My nose is part of my ancestry. I looked more like my relatives, and I am sad that I did that. And, you know, obviously she's a successful model. Like, things have been okay for her. But it is interesting that probably being pushed into a modeling career, they were like, you should change your nose. And she was like, okay, before she was old enough to understand the consequences of the decision.
You know what's funny? You know that song? I think it's Christina Aguilera. I could be wrong. You're Beautiful or whatever. Is it You're Beautiful? And then it's like it shows a whole bunch of goofy ass people in the music video, but it's like You're Beautiful or something like that.
Yes, I
I
remember.
thought it was funny that was the message a while ago, where it's like no matter who you are, no matter what it is, you look like or where you come from.
James Blunt, actually.
It was James Blunt.
Yeah, that's telling me there. I think there's different songs.
am I
that
thinking of
Christina
then?
did,
I'm sure
I
there have
think.
been 100 music videos like this. I'm gonna level with you guys.
There-
I think
yeah.
this is
Yeah.
a popular thought that's been shared. I mean, it's the
No,
marriage of the.
I think I'm right.
James
You are
Blunt-
beautiful, maybe.
James Blunt does have one called "You're Beautiful." I mean, it's
and it's
not
a banger.
There are multiple songs.
You are
with the
beautiful. You
title.
are beautiful, and it's called "Beautiful"
Yeah.
by
I want to
Christina
hear Clint's
Aguilera.
playlist immediately.
Yo, it's a banger. I'm sorry. James Blunt he speaks to my soul.
It's called "You Are Beautiful," and so we used to have this song.
Sorry.
We used to have this song where it was like, no matter what you looked like, you're good. Now it's like surgery awaits if you're unhappy with your body.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
We've gotten pretty far away, but it's the same with a lot of things where it's just not really accepting human nature or how we are born or built. It's dangerous. The trend line is not good.
I mean, look, I'm probably a little more pro body modification and stuff than anyone else sitting at the table. But if you're a kid, like this stuff is not for children because your brain isn't developed. Like your brain isn't fully developed until you're 25 or something like that. You want to get surgeries that modify your body. Do it when you're an adult. You can live your life as the opposite sex if you want. I'm not personally for that stuff, but at least those kind of things aren't they're not irreversible. And encouraging people to get serious body modification before they're even an adult is unconscionable.
There's some that's like there's varying degrees, right? A kid who wants to get their ears pierced, we don't really care all that much about, right? Certain body modification, it's like, oh, whatever, like a nose ring in the side or something.
Yeah,
the parents are like, okay.
Kids want to stretch their ears out and stuff like that, and it's like, look, I know tons of people with plugs and stuff, but it's like, and I used to have like gauged earrings and stuff. You probably shouldn't be doing that until you're an adult either, because even those need surgery to get made to repair if you get them too stretched out.
I was going to say, just the number of kids who turn 18 and get tattoos. Tattoos are more and more common in this day and age, which doesn't have to be bad, but I bet we can all name someone whose parents said they could get a tattoo at, 17, 16, and they look at that tattoo and they're like, oh, I regret this.
Whoops.
This was dumb.
Of course.
I mean, then imagine it being your genitalia.
I'm going to write a song called "Change Your Body Because You're Ugly and You Suck." And it's going to be a parody of these, you're beautiful, you are beautiful in every single way, and it's going to be like, no one likes you, you don't fit in, you don't look like everyone else, therefore surgery awaits in Hollywood.
And it goes on the same album as Insulin Resistance.
But yes, and but think about this idea
I saw that.
that the people who claim to believe in body positivity are telling people to get surgeries to look like other people. Like,
Right.
you don't actually like their body. You're telling them to go change themselves instead of telling them that they're fine the way they are.
Yeah. Well,
That
it's-
used to be the message.
It's
it's completely inverted from what it used to be. It used to be like, accept yourself for who you are. But this is the same thing with like the colorblind movement. It was like, all right, that was basically the civil rights idea, was that we were going to try and get past our immutable characteristics and accept each other for who we are as individuals, blah, blah, blah. Now you're a regressive and a racist if you feel that way. And it's the same thing with body acceptance. It's like, well, we used to try and advocate that you just accept yourself for who you are, how you were born. And now it's okay if you want to completely change everything from your DNA on up. It's weird.
and it makes sense why anxiety
CRISPR's
is on the
coming,
rise.
man.
Yeah.
What's that?
CRISPR's coming.
Yeah, no, it is. If it's not already here.
No, I mean,
People are already doing genetic modification on themselves.
it seems totally crazy. I mean, this makes sense why people are so anxious and so in search of identity, because if you're willing to modify your body to that degree, there's no ceiling on this. You'll be always searching for the next thrill, more acceptance. I don't feel good yet. I have to do the next thing. I have to do the next thing after the next thing. It's endless.
Yes.
And that's ultimately one of the things that wears away society. Like Tim mentioned before with Megan Rapinoe, we don't feel like we can root for her because she wouldn't root for us. She wouldn't root for the country. I mean,
She would actively root against us.
Right. If you don't root for yourself as you are, if you're constantly seeking validation in things around you and in physical modification, then how are you ever to be truly happy?
I think that there's there's multiple different reasons people might want to modify their bodies. And I don't think that it's just people that are mentally ill or
Well, and I don't
whatever.
think getting gauges in your ears is the same thing as being like, I would like top surgery, please. Like, very different.
Yeah, but I mean, there's also in the future, there's like the modifications that are the options that people have for modifications. They're going to be significantly more broad very, very soon. And people that are going to decide, I want to have, stronger arms, that's going to be an option. People now, they can decide they want to extend their legs nowadays. There are guys that will spend 6 months laid up so they can get an extra 2 or 3 inches of height. And, the things that people will go to, or the lengths that people will go to change their bodies, if people will do that for just a couple inches of height, imagine what they would do for the ability to see, not just see better, but have superhuman vision. And these things are very close. They're not that far away.
What's actually, you're talking 10, 20 years ago. They do this, the hackers have been doing this thing where you sew magnets into your fingertip.
Biohackers, yeah.
And that gives you I think it's called electrosense. You put a neodymium magnet under your skin and sew it up. And then what happens is the slight vibrations from the electromagnetic frequencies coming from electrical appliances and cables cause a vibration in the magnet pressing against the nerves in your hand. You can feel where electricity comes from. So you could literally run your hand on the wall and then feel where the power lines are running.
See, and
crazy,
so
right?
like a neodymium magnet is extremely non-invasive, right? It's not like putting a machine in your hand, but it still
Doesn't work.
It doesn't work. What do you mean?
It eventually gets rejected and
it just gets-
will shatter and break out of your skin.
Yeah, so it doesn't stay. But even still, like that's just obvious. Like you said, that was years and years and years ago that people started doing that, and
Yep.
that's
One guy even sewed.
home biohacking.
One guy even put a full computer in his arm under his skin, like crazy
That's
stuff.
nuts. I think that the unintended consequence of all this body modification and these hybrid human cyborg type things is that ultimately, I can only speak for men in this regard, but when we had a shortfall biologically, whether it be our height or whatever, attractiveness, we would either become funny or become musicians. We would there would be some
You'd bounce
sort of,
it out with some
you would
other-
balance, and then, like if you are able to just like go to a doctor and pay and then be this specimen, it kind of detracts from that other avenue of becoming a more impressive human being. I don't know.
I
It's
think it
gonna be
works in
interesting to
reverse
see.
too. Let's remember Elon Musk made a lot of money and then his hairline came back.
That's true.
I think that there is a relationship between like being self-aware enough to say like, look, this may be, and I don't even think like some of the things we're naming are not just like actually that big of a deal. Like if you're not that tall, there are very short women in the world. You're fine. The thing is, like, there are lots of Phil's nodding at me. I'm just going to tell him out right now.
Look, I tell you what, my life would be extremely different if it wasn't for the fact that I am a rock star. Okay, so being a rock star makes up for
Adds
at
like-
least 3 or 4 inches.
You're reinforcing his theory.
'Cause I'm not a tall
You're
guy.
a really good musician.
Everyone
what
knows
I'm
I'm a
saying.
short dude. So
If he was 6'4", he would have never even picked up the guitar.
no,
no
no.
point.
If I was 6'4", I'd probably rule the country.
See, told you.
It's actually a really good chance you play basketball.
Maybe, yeah.
For real though. Yeah, like the taller you get, the percentage chance that you played basketball gets higher and higher and higher. And there's something like if you're taller than 6'6", there's like a 17% chance that you've played basketball.
I mean,
because like when you when you're
literally
younger
built
or
for
high
it.
school or college, not like, and then something like if you're at 7 feet, then there's like
Like a 90% chance.
yeah, ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
because they'll just hire you. Like
They're-
you're
yeah.
tall. We don't care if you know how to play. Just
They'll literally fist fight each other to get you to sign,
Yeah.
the agents.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.